You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Fashion 411, featuring the week's roundup of fashion news. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Fashion 411.
Like, write it.
Ooh. All right, guys, if you're tuning in right now, it is Fashion 411 with Black Hollywood Live. It is Friday, October 25th, and you are tuning in to the #1 fashion podcast on iTunes. And we owe that all to you. So, be sure you guys download the show. It's completely free on iTunes. Keep doing it because you are the ones that make us #1. And also, we are on Instagram because we talk about fashion, and sometimes it's nice to see pictures and follow along. So you can check us out on Instagram at BHL Fashion 411. And you can also go to our website, Black Hollywood Live, for even more information, more pictures. You can see the YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to shut up and let everybody go around the room and introduce themselves so we can talk some fashion. Across the table for me is...
Hey guys, I'm Erica Garcia Rojas, your spicy Latina born and raised in LA. I'm your go-to girl for all things fashion and business. I have a clothing line, most of you guys know, and actually I'm wearing it today. I've had people ask me. We do things, we do sports things. So I'm wearing, for those of you listening, I'm wearing a Lakers little t-shirt we're selling at the Staples Center. So if any of you are local in Los Angeles, definitely go to Staples Center. We have stuff for Kings, Clippers, Lakers.
And you forgot to mention it's got bling on it. It's
yeah.
blinged out.
Like, I don't want to grab your boob. Show the bling.
It's bling Lakers. So we got lots of really cute stuff. We just shipped our newest shipment out.
Nice.
So
Awesome. What's it called again?
Rally Babe. You can find us on rallybabe.com. And we have an Instagram and Twitter, too.
There you go. Well, I'm your other host, Courtney Stewart, who obviously needs to go shopping. Shopping, shoeaholic. I'm your girl, always giving you guys the consumer perspective on the show.
And before we dig into things, I'm Deanna Vaughn. I used to be your fashionista in New York, buyer, merchandiser. Used to kill myself with all the things that I did in the fashion industry. But I'd like to think that I can bring you guys, the runway to the real way, because I'm all about finding things for less. That's like my specialty. All right, so let's kick off today's show. First up for Who, What, Where. Let's see here. Who do we have? Okay, so this lovely pair, this is a mother-daughter design team, and their line is called Royal Jelly of Harlem. And what I thought so interesting about these ladies, first of all, it's mother and daughter, and their brand has been around since 2011. And the mom, Maya on the right, she is actually the daughter of a world-renowned artist, Gianfranco Giorgione. And why we're talking about them today is that they traditionally have a lot of like African prints and inspired by the 50s and the 60s, and they've just expanded their line into home. So not only can you get women's dresses, but now they've got like home textiles, they've got like some accessories for men, bow ties, neckties, and they also have some men's fashion. And they just had a big meeting this past week where they've shown this expanded collection, and it's just kind of nice because we talked about last week supporting Black designers, and this is I think a fantastic representation of that. It's a mother and daughter team, so that's Royal Jelly of Harlem.
Can't wait to see some of those textiles for the home. Those patterns they have are amazing.
They really are, really nice, just colorful, bright. Basically, their whole thing is that they wanted to bring a lot more attention to the continent of Africa and just show people the diversity and the colors and all the textures, and just show that it's not just about like what you think it might be. It's not just about dashikis and traditional, like prints and cloths, but they wanted to really just show people that there's so much more to the continent than that. And I think they're doing a great job. So hats off to them. Next up for our Who, What, Where. So the Who is 6 African-American fashion bloggers that we think all of you guys need to know about. So first up, if you're following along and you can see the pictures on the top row, first up it's Karen Blanchard. Now, the what on Karen Blanchard, she is a Brit, and she just walks you through a journey through her wardrobe and eye-catching pics of art and things that she finds stylish. And she's been around for, what's my notes? She's been around for about 5 years, and she's just kind of like the person in the know when it comes to fashion blogging in Europe or in the UK. Next up in the middle, we've got these two lovely, dashing gentlemen, Travis Gums and Joshua Kesey, and they have a blog, Sartorial Street Style at its Finest. Now, it was created by these two guys, and they reside in New York City, and they're all about, bridging the fashion world and etiquette, so that's their claim to fame when it comes to fashion blogging. And then next up at the top in the corner, we've got Shayla Monroke. And her blog is called Shayla's Rabbit Hole. So she's very well-rounded and chic and artsy. And she's more about like the art of style. That's what her blog focuses on. And then on the bottom row, we've got Claire Sulmers. She's Fashion Bomb Daily. She's behind that, which is a huge fashion blog. I know I look at that a lot. So she likes to bring a lot of, celebrity, street style, all that kind of stuff. And that's a really big, popular blog. And then in the middle, we've got Oroma Elui, and she's actually standing with Solange Knowles. It might be hard to see. But she is a style and cultural enthusiast, and she brings like a global kind of feel to her blog because she's from Africa. And her blog is the Pop Africana blog, and then she also has aromasTherapy.com. That's a cute play on words with her name. And then finally, we've got in the corner Gabby Gregg. And Gabby, she's all about posting about girls with... our plus size ladies, So if you got curves, she's going to show you how to flaunt it and look your best. And her blog is Gabby Fresh. So I think,
does Gabby? I think Gabby has a little, what do you call it?
A column.
Column.
Yeah.
Is it In Style or People Style Watch?
It's like every now and then she pops up in. Yeah.
She had some cute stuff. I was like, okay, plus size girls. You guys are doing it.
And even last week, our guest last week, Queen, a lot of people have been saying, where's the plus size? Where's the plus size? So
she's there, and she has great stuff in her column. So I'm sure that blog is.
She really does. And then next up on Who, What, Where. So let's see what's happening on the streets. So this is some street style that we're seeing current now, what people are doing. First up, it's turbans. And, it's colorful, it's fun. If you're having a bad hair day, it's a wonderful way to cover it up and mask it all. But turbans are like a hot new item. This lovely lady right here, she's actually in New York City. And another great thing about turbans is that you can take a scarf. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can take some old fabric and just work it.
Work it up.
Work it up and play with it, and boom, suddenly you've got this great fashion creation on your head.
Do it all the time.
Very helpful.
You guys rock the turban?
Oh, all the time.
Actually, turbans are really big on the Prada runways. I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago, but every now and then they pop up in the accessories world, and they're like these really big fashion trend ideas.
Remember when J-Lo was wearing turbans a lot when she was pregnant? Because she couldn't dye her hair?
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever rock a turban unless I'm just out of the shower.
I think, there's different types too.
Like,
they don't all look really big like that and piles up in your head. So I think there's something
cool
for everybody.
Like you can tie them to the side and some great earrings. Like, you could totally do it.
And then next, what's happening on the street is chunky, heavy metal accessories. So this right here, this girl, she's got like a lot of like chunky metal on her arm, which is a great arm candy. She's also rocking like this really chunky, great bag, and then of course the rings. This is all over the place. Whether you want to rock silver, rose gold, regular gold, mixed metals, chunky is in, and I think it's just easy. If you've got like a simple like outfit on, no matter what color, you can just easily, throw in some accessories, and there you have it.
Chunky jewelry is always in. It's funny, remember when we had Shay, the designer from
Yeah.
Shay's Jewelry, and she said her number one seller is always bracelets. And it's so true. It's like, who doesn't love like a bunch of bracelets? And bracelets, you can like stack one another, and
it's so easy.
They're so easy, and like big bracelets totally make an outfit. I love bracelets.
Love it. And then finally, the last street trend we're seeing are these really great thin envelope like clutch bags. You know, and I know like clutch bags, they have their moments, but they just happen to be all over the streets now. Different colors, different textures. Some bags, you know, have got like different embellishments on it, but like I happen to love clutch bags and I have a ton of them. So this is something else that popped up on the street. I think this picture right here, she's in Philadelphia.
Do you guys actually carry yours though, or do you end up being the person like myself that is putting your clutch in a big old bag?
No, I carry mine.
Because I always am like, I love it and it's so cute. And then there's like 18 other things that I'm supposed to put in it that don't go in it.
Well, see, that defeats the purpose of a clutch.
I know.
You're not supposed to carry as much.
You're not supposed to carry as much.
It's more of a nighttime thing.
Yeah.
Clutches and the envelope ones, the bigger the better, are going to be huge for this fall and winter. Like they're just, you see them everywhere. And to answer your question, what I do with the clutch bags, I'm not as big a fan of the clutch bags because I like hands-free. Like I hate having to deal with that. I think they look so cute, but I always try and get a clutch bag that has some kind of strap, so that when I'm over it, I'll just throw the strap on and like I love crossbody, anything, crossbody little things. So I'll make sure there's some kind of like crossbody thing on it.
Yeah.
But they're just so huge right now, especially the envelope style ones.
And what I love about the clutch is not necessarily a nighttime bag.
No, it's a day. It's a huge day right now. That's my problem. During the day, I need too much stuff.
It can be a
me
day.
too. I can't do it during the daytime.
Because I literally have it in my purse, inside a big old purse.
And then finally, in Who, What, Where, to pay homage to the TLC documentary that came on VH1 this Monday, let's take a quick look back at how they've influenced some fashion through the years. So the first picture, I don't know if you guys remember this, or if you're TLC fans. I mean, I know I was a huge TLC fan.
Huge.
But
Waterfalls was like my favorite song ever. I remember listening to Waterfalls over and over
because they played it over and over and over.
I was like in high school or junior high or whenever it came out, and that song, you're like, every time I hear it, it reminds me of like when I was younger.
And these ladies had such an impact on fashion. So this first pic is the Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Like that's their first album. And remember, Left Eye was doing the condom over her eye. You know, so promoting safe sex while being fashionable and, you know, forward at the same time.
That's right. But we did Band-Aids because they used to do condoms and Band-Aids all over their clothes. So we used to put Band-Aids on our clothes.
And then we moved.
I used to do the one strap overall.
Well, that's coming up next. So we moved on to, like, they were rocking these oversized overalls. They look like, you know, they could have been little gas station attendants, but, you know, they've got the flannels, big overalls, and so that was another bold movement in the 90s. And then finally we're moving on. So see, now they're getting older and they're starting to show off their bodies. So let's look at the change. Before they're all covered, now this is like this whole graphic moment where they're like wearing their ripped up clothes and they're showing off their bodies. And then finally this last picture, they're just rocking the whole, you know, black and white, you know.
Coordinating.
Like you could really see the progression and just even their maturity, you know, but all of this, you know, was definitely a big impact on fashion. And TLC, we thank you.
And we loved you.
And we loved you.
All right. Did you watch the documentary?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't yet. It's still on my
I know. I missed it, and it doesn't repeat until Sunday. And I was so upset.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking it would come on like right afterwards. Like sometimes they do that.
Right before.
Gotta wait till Sunday.
It was interesting. It was entertaining for sure. For sure.
I wonder how true. Like,
I mean, there's been a little bit of talk about how much was true and how much wasn't, but they were very clear about it being their perspective, and they were as honest as they could be. Some things obviously had to be changed to fit a 2.5-hour format. It's a VH1 movie, but overall, I think the coolest thing was just it gave a great perspective on their relationship with each other, and that was good.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see it.
All right, Erica, what kind of style scoop do you have for us?
Okay, guys, so I am here with your weekly style scoop here on Fashion 411. And first up, we got big department store Barneys is being sued. Just this past week, a young gentleman by the name of Trayon Christian, he's a 19-year-old from Queens, is suing Barney and the NYPD today after they both erroneously accused him of credit card fraud. So basically, listen to this story. Basically, after saving money from his part-time job, Christian visited Barney's to to purchase a $349 Salvatore Ferragamo belt. After purchasing the item and leaving the store, he was stopped by undercover cops who thought that his credit card was fake. And according to Christian in the New York Daily News, quote, this is what he said: "The detectives are asking me, how could you afford a belt like this? Where did you get this money from?" He was then taken into custody, but he was released after police discovered that his credit card was not a fake. Startled and disgusted by the incident, Christian returned the belt. He said, quote, "I got my money back. I'm not shopping there again. It's cruel and it's racist."
Oh,
What do you guys
my
say about
So
that?
freaking absurd.
I mean, I've worked a lot of retail,
Yeah.
before I worked corporate side. And I have to say that, shoplifters come in the most interesting packages, and it's never, was that a doorbell? And it's never a good idea to profile people, because the people that you least expect to be stealing, those are the people stealing. And that's just disgusting to me. I just,
it's appalling. And like, it's really funny that you say that, because I worked in retail quite a bit coming up in high school and college and whatnot. And like, a lot of times they would actually tell us the people that you should be looking at are the moms with baby carriages and their babies, because they have been known to do some things, whatever. And it sucks. It was a $300 belt. People buy iPhones for more money than that. Like, are you kidding? It's not like he bought like a $50,000, and even that doesn't justify it, obviously. But I'm just saying, it's just such a small thing that
it's so disgusting.
And what I thought was interesting was that, like, I worked in retail also, like, growing up in high school, whatever. And one of I know with the department store that I worked at, like, their main role, and they had undercover cops like strolling around. It was interesting as I was working, I'd be on the floor or whatever, and then you would see them, the undercover guy, you're like, ooh, who's they looking for? Looking around. The main rule, they said, is they have to actually see somebody put something in their bag or purse before doing what these guys at Barneys did and arresting them. So I found it was interesting that they profiled and made the assumption that this guy's credit card was fake. They didn't even see the guy stealing. They said, that kid doesn't look like he belongs here. That kid doesn't look like he could afford this. So we're just going to like throw it out there that maybe his credit card was fake.
Even more disgusting.
And that is what's so bad to me. It's like they went 3 or 4 steps into a direction that they shouldn't have gone. And I know that, like, because I worked for Nordstrom's, and they were very strict about that policy. You have to actually see somebody, and that's for this particular reason.
And that's a policy across the board.
You have to see them
actually put it in the bag.
And then they get out of the store, essentially, before you can confront them. Exactly. But it's interesting, too, that they are trying to, there's a petition right now for Jay-Z, because he has that partnership with Barneys, unchange.org, for him to not
be part of it.
Cut it off.
I mean, at the same time, I'm not surprised. This kind of stuff happens all the time, but just with the credit card, that's taking it to a new level.
They weren't just like, you stole the belt. They're like, you have done a fake credit card. Like, how it didn't come up, denied or something, and he had to call it in. It's insane.
I know. If they did that, I feel so bad for it. If they did that to anybody that I knew, a family member, anybody, I'd be so livid with them.
And just the humiliation of
the
store.
Especially, like, they kind of painted the story of, like, he was all excited, he saved up his money,
he his Ferragamo belts.
Poor thing.
I felt bad,
By the way, to throw a shout out, Justice Is Served, one of our other shows here on AfterBuzz TV, this was their case of the week, and they really went into the legal issues, and they did talk about Jay-Z. And yes, he could not do Barneys, but they were proponents of change within the company by Jay-Z doing this and forcing it on them. So really interesting talk there. Check it out, Justice Is Served.
All right, thanks, check out our other podcast, Justice Is Served.
Would Jay-Z partnership maintenance of that partnership really move anything forward?
I don't think so. I mean, I'd like to be positive, but just having worked in this industry for as long as I have, I mean, look, collectively we all have. I think this profiling is it's something that happens a lot. They look at, young black youth, they're not looking at the little old Jewish lady with the shopping bag. They're not. And she's the one stealing, I'm not kidding. So I don't know if Jay-Z
all different types of people steal.
Exactly.
But I mean, I do think that, though, this, not necessarily Jay-Z being a part of, because what we've seen and with the show, there's plenty of African-American, minority, Latin people doing collaborations in fashion. So I don't think I think that's opening doors in different ways, not necessarily in this world, but what I do think what might cause change is this young man speaking up and suing and making a big, ordeal about it, which he should.
Absolutely.
That, I think, would maybe bring change. And us hearing about it and talking about it and being on the news, that is what would bring change. Not necessarily Jay-Z partnering.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, because this was funny to me in the Justice Served one. Did you guys hear about the Oprah story where I think it was Switzerland?
Yes, we talked about
we
that.
talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminded me of that. That's also funny.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that happened in another country. And we talked about this too, how it's just we, in our opinion, I mean, we're not experts at this, but like you guys said, it seems like there is a little more racism abroad. And I think Sam, who was a guest on our show, who's from the UK, said there's a lot of racism there. But we're like, okay, it's happening abroad. Obviously,
I feel like
this is happening here in the States, in New York.
I feel like when you're like in Europe, because I remember I went to Spain once, and I never need to go back to Barcelona. That's all I have to say. But
I love Barcelona. It's my favorite city
I
in the
have
world.
to say that, like, when it happens over there, this has been my experience. They're a lot more like in your face. They're not trying to be undercover about it. They'll say it right to your face.
Yeah.
They'll call you names. They're very just upfront about it, and it's blatant. Whereas here, it's a little bit more undercover, and we don't want you to know that we're looking for you, but you know what I mean?
It's institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like, we want to keep the appearance that we are growing and past it and beyond it.
Here's keeping up appearances. They're in your face about it. At least that's been my experience. So it's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Up next, so we've got a new child labor laws are affecting underage models. A new set of child labor laws protecting underage models is now in effect. They've been talking about it for a while, but it's actually now in effect. The new guidelines strictly monitor the hours young girls are working and ensures that they're properly compensated for their services. According to Women's World Daily, there's 4 main guidelines. The first is that a responsible person is designated to monitor the activity and the well-being of each child performer under the age of 16 at the workplace. Second, employers must provide a nurse with pediatric experience as well as health and safety information at the workplace. Third, employers must provide teachers and a dedicated place for instruction. Fourth, a financial trust must be established by a child's parent or guardian in which an employer must transfer at least 15% of the child's gross earnings. So overall, casting underage models or actors for a show or campaign is going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to be a lot more costly. And in my opinion, I think it's better for the children.
I think it's shocking that this is just happening, because that's been in effect in Hollywood for ages at this point. So it's strange that the modeling industry is just now getting
I think they get away with a lot more. And I think this is great, because it means that these young girls aren't going to be taken advantage of. No one can take their money. They're still going to be able to, make sure they get an education. I think it's great.
Yeah. I think it's very important. And I think the fourth one about, automatically transferring
the money,
a certain percentage into a trust, because you hear about these, parents and they end up, their kids are in show business, and then by the time the kids are 18,
money's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And like you said, Courtney, it's already in effect.
Yeah,
in
it's been in Hollywood for quite some time now.
I did commercials, things like that when we were younger. You have to have like a school.
Your permits are right. The teacher has to be on. Even if you got a low budget, 0% production, if you are union, you have to have a teacher on set for minors. Like, it's serious.
It's huge. It's important. So I was glad to see that this happened. All right. So up next, we've got renowned fashion photographer Terry Richardson is being targeted for a petition on change.org calling for brands and magazines to stop working with him on account of past allegations of sexual abuse. So Richard's behavior has made headlines in the past, but with very little consequences from the fashion community, which continues to employ him. The petition written by Alice Louise from London says, quote, "More awareness needs to be brought to light that Terry Richardson is negatively influencing media with his supposed exploit and abuse of certain models, mainstream degrading pornographic imagery, and inappropriate and unprofessional behavior. His contribution to society has a bad impact as he is being exposed to the masses with the impression of being well received while there are potentially unethical practices not being shown." So Allegations and complaints have been published from the likes of supermodel Coco Rocha, Jamie Peck, and Danish supermodel Ree Rasmussen against Richardson. The petition actually recently caught the attention of H&M when actually a few people were tweeting about it. Somebody asked H&M, like, what are you going to do about this? Because I believe that they use Terry Richardson. And H&M responded by saying, if these accusations are true, it's totally unacceptable to us. Currently, we're not working with Terry Richardson. So what do you guys think about all that?
I mean, I think the one way to, affect this guy, what is for different retailers and magazines is to, not utilize him, because that's going to send a clear message that your behavior, it's not tolerated, it's not okay, otherwise, what happens, some poor person, just like the kids we were just talking about, is going to get taken advantage of, so...
Yeah. I think it's important. I mean, you hear all the time about creeps in Hollywood, creeps in the entertainment industry, like taking advantage of women, whatever it is, being able to have a certain type of behavior that just gets ignored because they're famous or talented or whatever, and there's just no consequences. And these brands and these large-scale operations with tons of money continue to employ them and pay them big bucks. And as that grows and they get more and more powerful, it's almost harder to stop these guys. And I'm glad that something like this. I mean, if these allegations are true, which, it sounds like he's had numerous people coming out of the woodwork and saying, hey, he did this, he did that. I think these guys need to get a slap in the face and just say, hey, stop it.
Well, people need to put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, they do.
Because things like this come up all the time, whether it's in fashion or into, like, look at Paula Deen, you know what I mean? And what happens is people, oh, well, your contract is canceled, you're doing this, but then, time passes and then they resurface. So I think, if you're going to send a message, stand by it. So.
And I think it has to be a message at every level, because I know that everybody has the power where they have it, but models need to not be willing to work with him, just as retailers need to not be wanting to work with him, just as magazines should not want to work with him. Like, everybody has to hit him, because as long as he has access to more models, he'll find somewhere to put those images or use those images or what have you. Like, it has to be a joint effort of everyone, because everybody has to be aware that everybody has a piece of power in that.
Exactly. Well, time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so last but not least, we've got the lovely Kerry Washington, was recently named a brand ambassador and creative consultant for skincare brand Neutrogena. In addition to starring in campaigns, this is a little unique with this collaboration. She's actually going to be working behind the scenes and sharing insight on marketing on retail strategy. She says, quote, the more I learned about the company's values, guiding principles, and commitment to quality, the more I realized that Neutrogena is so much more than your average beauty company. I knew I wanted to be part of a company that is helping to make a difference in people's lives. As a creative consultant, I'll be able to have a real voice inside this amazing company, which is a tremendously exciting endeavor. So Washington joins other stars such as Jennifer Garner, Julie Bowen, Gabrielle Union, Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts, Diane Lane, and Sandra Echeverria as a face and member of the Neutrogena family.
Kerry Washington is having quite a year.
Capitalizing.
My gosh, she's all over the place.
Yeah.
Good for her. I mean, got married this year.
She got married.
She's got #1 show. She's got this. She's been on magazine. She better go. Love it.
Yeah. She's raking in a lot of money.
She really is.
Got to do it when you can.
Yeah.
And she's been working a long time, so for all of that to sort of come to
fruition
right now is amazing.
Yeah, she just, I don't know, for whatever reason, she's like a friend in my head.
Yeah, because she seems like a regular chick. Like, you could hang out. Yeah,
she does. She really does. All right. What's up next?
Okay, so next we've got our hot mess.
The fun begins.
So yes, okay. So our first victim, or you want to say
victim,
is Alyssa Milano, and she's here at Project Runway All Stars Season 3 premiere party, and she's wearing a 2200 Peter Pilotto Fall 2013 printed cap sleeve dress. Her graphic print dress features a mock turtleneck collar, cap sleeves, black, white, and blue tonal graphic, and a color block detailing and a front slit. And for those of you listening, like we said, follow us along on Instagram. We've got all the photos, especially here with this hot mess. You can follow along. Our Instagram is BHL Fashion 411. So what do you guys think?
You know what? I actually really like this dress, but I don't like it on her. I think it needs to be on a taller person. because it's just where it cuts her at her legs. I think she's just too short to wear it. But I really like this.
I totally
like
agree. I love the dress. I think there's too many angles, there's too many patterns, there's too much going on because she's a petite girl like that. She just doesn't wear
her
it very
frame.
well.
I agree too, because when you saw it on the runway, actually, it's really quite beautiful, and the model's very leggy, very long, very tall, and I just think this is just not a good style.
How do you guys think about her being the host on All Stars?
Yeah, I thought
Where did that come from?
Because I'm like, Alyssa Milano.
I thought it was the strangest thing I'd heard in a while, and I was like, really?
It's like, did somebody else back out at the last minute?
It's strange because I don't know her necessarily
when it comes to
host in general or in fashion.
Well, what I do know is that it's funny because she's a somewhat competitor of my brand. I mean, we don't really compare because she's on a huge scale, but she has her Touch brand. Basically, it's a very similar to our Rally Bay brand. It's kind of a women's sports apparel. So she has a licensing for NFL, NBA, and she has sports apparel, and it's in all the stadiums. It's online. So she does have a clothing line, and it's pretty big. It's pretty successful in that world. So I do know that's kind of where it comes from.
Yeah, because when you think of Alyssa Milano, you don't think of host, and you don't think of fashion.
I didn't know any of that, so I was like, that was an interesting choice. Even though I love her, I think she's awesome. But
so she does have her hands in fashion.
In the fashion business,
and
for sure.
That line has been around for quite a while.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
All right, so next up, we've got supermodel Joan Smalls, and she's here at the Fashion Group International's 30th Annual Night of Stars, and she's wearing a white jumpsuit by Tom Ford and black lace-up sandals. It's a halter jumpsuit with a plunging neckline.
It's just hard to see, like, the middle portion, like her torso, what's going I can't figure out what's going on.
Because the seat looks really low, like the crotch, but I'm confused a little.
I can't tell what's going on in the middle. So it's hard. And then for me, I don't like the shoes paired with that. It's just...
And it's because it's cropped, but it's not skinny legs, so it's not tight enough to her leg, and then it's a booty, and I'm confused.
I am too.
I actually super duper love it.
Yeah?
I do
you
love
like it with the shoes?
I like it with the shoes. I like the jumpsuit on her. I think when you look at it, not maybe on the photo here, you can see the detailing of it. There's pockets and everything, and it's quite structured and detailing. And I think this is an example of an item that looks great on someone like her who's tall and slender and can pull it off. I think it looks amazing on her. I love it, and I like the shoes with it too.
It looks like it's a really big cummerbund in the middle. Like I don't know, maybe just my eyes are playing tricks on me. But yeah, it's hard for me to see the detail.
Maybe it doesn't photograph well.
I think it doesn't photograph well, because when you look more at photos like in magazines and things like that, it actually looks
because her hands are very low with those pockets, but then the waist, like, I can't figure out exactly where all that falls. But I mean, the color is great, and I think from like wherever that center up, like it looks awesome.
It looks
and
great because I like her hair's back.
And I like the shape with the back out like that, and it's very square. But she's beautiful regardless.
Yeah, she looks. I think it's a hot for me, but for you guys, sounds like it's a
no.
TBD.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a hot mess. It's just I don't get it totally.
All right, so up next, we've got actress Naomie Harris, and she's here at the L's 20th Annual Women in Hollywood celebration at the Four Seasons Hotel. And she is wearing a Calvin Klein fringe dress with black strappy heels.
Ew. No, I don't like it. It's just, first, it's just taking me a moment to even figure out what I'm looking at. I just think it looks kind of sloppy. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Hot mess for me.
I really want to like it because I like that it's fringe, but I feel like between the fringe, the grayish white palette, and her hair, she looks dowdy and sad. It just looks like it's hanging.
And her posture looks a little like
because she always stands sort of like that. But yeah, it doesn't work for me at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Love her.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of it either because she's got a great body and it's a very muscular toned body, and this dress just dwarfs her.
It does nothing
and it does nothing. I saw it, I was like, it just was not good. And like her hair is just too plain. I'm like, girl, you're on a red carpet or a gray carpet or whatever the hell she's at. But I mean, it's like a Women in Hollywood celebration. I mean, it just
celebrates.
That looks so sad.
Color.
It was a hot mess for me.
Yeah,
like,
that's one collective response.
Sorry, boo.
All right, so at the same event, we've got the lovely Naya Rivera, and she's here in a Pamela Roland Spring 2014 white jumpsuit, another white jumpsuit. What do you guys think of this one?
Oh, she looks so grown up. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. She's almost looks a little too, it looks a little bit too mature for her, the outfit. I don't know.
This is the most like weird.
I want to like it. I do want to like it, but I don't know.
Okay, I like the jumpsuit itself. Actually,
is it a jumpsuit or is it a blazer and pants?
It's a jumpsuit. It's a one piece.
I like it. I don't like the hem, the pant, and then I don't like the pointy shoe with it. I feel like she looks fake and uncomfortable.
She looks like Joan Crawford.
I think it's her pose.
Is that yeah?
It's her pose and like the way she's not smiling or anything.
But the jumpsuit is beautiful, and that diamond on her neck is fabulous.
I love it, actually. I do. I love it. I love everything from, I'd say, the knees up, which sounds kind of weird. I love the top. I think it's beautiful the way the sleeves are.
I love the
like
sleeves.
an open neck.
Yeah.
I think it looks great on her body. It's like the perfect amount of cleavage. What I don't like about it is the hem on the pants.
Yeah.
I think the
hem is
pants are
terrible.
too wide. They needed to be hemmed a little bit more, whether it's they're just it's just off.
It's the break
that's
is weird.
what's bothering me.
Yeah.
And I think I don't mind the black accessories. I think it looks okay, and the
No, that
necklace is
doesn't bother
great.
me.
But I love this jumpsuit. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
For me, the
and I like her
favorite part is the
styling with the
arms.
earrings and the hair back. I think her pose in this picture per se is uncomfortable, but if you take that away, I think overall it's a beautiful look. So. All right. Okay, so not last. We have a couple more. So next we got our favorite crazy style
Oh God.
stylista, Rita Ora, and she's at the iHeartRadio live concert at Bloomingdale's, and she is wearing a mink trimmed look from Fendi's Fall 2013 runway. It's like almost like a sweatshirt kind of thing with mink, and she's also wearing a $1,700 Fendi mink trimmed booties, which I've highlighted here, the booties. If you guys are on Instagram, check out these booties. What do you guys think?
I think that her whole look pulled together, it works. You know what I mean? Am I going out and spending $1,700 for these mink trim booties? No, but it works for her. It works.
What about you, Courtney?
I hate this. I hate it so much because it looks to me like she's not wearing a bra and her boobs look like hangy and the sweater doesn't look like it fits. Like I just don't. It looks sloppy to me. I love the pieces themselves, but and I think she's really pretty and she looks like the Joker with bad hair. Like
See, I think she's a chameleon because we've
I think
featured
she's
her quite. I think we've had her on quite a bit, and she has so many different types of looks. There's not one look that you can say that's Rita Ora. You know that defines
But
her.
I think that's her problem.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But she's trying to figure out who the hell she is. You know,
It's
like
kind of
with
taking
this
her a
hair.
long time.
We've seen
Hurry
you too
up,
much
Rita.
though, girl.
Rita,
This
get
is like
together.
the fourth time
You know?
we profiled you and you still a mess.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. Yeah,
She has her
doesn't
moments.
profound her. She's.
I was honestly just focusing on the shoes. I wasn't really given the whole look.
I mean, but look at
I don't know.
I love the shoes. I'm like obsessed with the shoes. I love the shoes.
The shoes work with the
shoes are
outfit.
cool.
They do.
I
I love the
Yeah.
shoes. Here's my take on the whole thing, right? I love, and you said this, Courtney,
Yeah.
I love each piece individually.
Yeah.
I think the sweatshirt's hot. If you would have put that sweatshirt with some black leather leggings,
pants, yeah.
with those same shoes, it would have looked amazing. If you would have taken that skirt, got rid of those shoes, put some strappy
Yeah.
gear, and
Yes.
some kind of like, I don't even know what it would be, like a crop top or
A
something.
nice fitted top that, like-
something, body, whatever, look amazing. So each piece individually,
own, yeah.
I think, especially it's very relevant to the season right now. We're getting into fall. I think, and fur, it's kind of a hot thing right now. Colored fur like she's wearing in the sweatshirt. I think it would look great. Her problem is she went to Fendi. She decided to throw all of her Fendi at, give it to me. And I think with Rita Ora, I'm getting a little frustrated with her because I think she's kind of like almost there, but it's like, girl, like either at this point hire a stylist to help you out or get with it, because it's like she's throwing every trend on and like trying to see what sticks.
I think what's happening is she's getting lots of stuff sent to her, and she's just wearing it all together. And she might have a stylist, so I don't know.
That's true.
But yeah, she might.
If
So
she does, she needs to be
so maybe
fired.
she feels like, okay, I'm going to this Bloomingdale's event, and whatever Fendi gave me this, so I have to wear all Fendi together. Who knows
don't know
what's
what's going
in
through
her
her
mind? But
And like talking about like now, okay, now let's back away from the clothes. I gotta talk about her hair and makeup.
Oy.
Because Rita, like you said, Courtney, it's like she always, and she's done it a lot. She has this, there's something about her face or with this big red lips. She looks like a Joker. And she's got a beautiful face, and the high impact lip, unfortunately, I don't think works for her. And she seems to want to be making that her signature. And it doesn't work. And with the combination of that and the pink hair,
The dip tip
it's
hair.
just like, ugh, I'm like getting.
It's not even cool. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're trying, like, Rihanna does all her crazy hair colors and does whatever, but it works and it's cool.
Whether it works on
This is
her
not working.
and not on her, not on Rita,
This is
I don't
not
know, but it's just not working. And honestly, I'm just getting really annoyed and frustrated with her. So
She looked like she, like, came out of water and it's all just hanging.
Yeah,
It's just not. Lift those boobies up and give yourself a waistline. Because she looks like she might be kind of hippie. A little bit of a hippie girl.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
All right, so our last victim is Gwen Stefani. And Gwen Stefani, she recently confirmed she's pregnant with her third
that's right.
baby. And she's here wearing her own design, lamb spring 2013 leopard printed peplum top and matching track pants.
I love it.
I love it too.
I love it.
too.
I think she looks so good. I don't think everybody can wear that, especially not that pattern all over, but I think she looks fantastic.
I'm a huge fan of Gwen Stefani, and I love that she's always promoting her own brand, because not everybody does that. You know, they have a clothing line and they're wearing other people's stuff. Sorry. I love her. And who else could wear this pregnant? I think, what is she, 4 months pregnant?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
4
So
months.
I think she
Rocking
looks
her
cute.
clutch.
And she's wearing some heels. Like, look at that, you know?
And I think the shoe is perfect. Like, it's just delicate enough with enough funkiness to it to give her, she looks great.
And an animal print, it's a classic print.
Yes.
You know, it gets updated and all that, but it's a classic
And she's
print.
someone who has made a red lip a signature,
That's her
and
signature.
it works on her. Every time it works on Gwen Stefani. I love Gwen Stefani's style. I think she's always perfection. This is just another
I can't even think of a time
example.
where I was like, what are you doing?
She's someone who knows her style.
Yeah.
She knows what works, and she just always come out looking on top. And like with Gwen Stefani, I don't even know what she's doing now, but I think she's still relevant because she always just looks so fantastic everywhere she goes. So she's always going to be in the weekly. She's always going to be in the magazines. She's got this fashion line, which has always been popular, her handbags and shoes and everything. And she's just someone who just knows style, and I love her for it. So.
Get it, girl.
Yeah.
That's a hot over here.
Yep. Hot, hot.
All right, so what's going on in the social media world?
All right, this week in the social media world, for those of you who don't know, there is a lovely singer by the name of Chrisette Michele who is super awesome. And she announced the launch of her video log on YouTube of fashion this week. And so she put up 5 different looks. She basically did looks of the week for you guys. And this week's theme was grungy femme. And we have a couple pictures of outfits that she put together for the week. The first one was her Alice and Olivia black lace dress. She had on some cross tights that you can't see in this specific picture. And she was wearing these great Jeffrey Campbell booties. What's really cool about what I really liked about the actual video is that she's going through like lots of different places and lots of cute little boutiques around New York. Like there were a couple of them that I recognized, like Jane and stuff like that she shops at, and she had great jewelry throughout all of these. The next look was Tuesday. She just wore a lace dress from Free People. She's wearing vegan suede booties that she got for like $35.
Oh, I love that, like mixing it up.
Yeah, a great necklace from Jane. Wednesday's look, which it will come up eventually, I guess, was a Forever 21 velvet dress that I was like, really? And I mean, her style may not be your style, but she's got pieces all over the place that are totally relevant and totally current, and places you can find them and get them. She also had on Thursday really cool lambskin Alice and Olivia skinnies with this great Anthropologie sweater, and I'm like dying to get that necklace from Anthropologie that she's also wearing. And then
Great color.
it was a great color. It's very fall. She has lots of handbags that she's sort of gotten in different places over time. One specifically, in this last Friday look, I believe it is, she was wearing a Jane printed blouse, and she's got the clutch that everybody is like rocking right now. She had a bunch of clutches throughout it. But there was a really cool a woman by the name of site, called IamJaquem.com. And she makes the clutches. There were like a couple of clutches in there, and those were super awesome. You can find her, on Twitter at IamJaquem. And so basically it was just a cool, like somebody that I totally, style-wise, she's always different. I'm not, her style's not necessarily mine, but I've always loved her music, and I've loved that she has her own look and does her own thing. And she's launched herself a little fashion blog, and she's going to be working.
And I love this concept.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, something different.
Monday through Friday, she repeats, like she had the lambskin pants on another day, and just sort of telling you how she goes through her week. And girl, if you want some jewelry and some hair makeup, which is actually she's going to couple with her makeup artist and do a couple of makeup videos and things like that. But she's joining the universe out there on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube and doing the darn thing. And of course, those of you that don't know, she was bald like not too long ago. Now she's rocking the super long 2-strand twist, which I was obsessed with. So she looks great. She was fun. It was a great video. I thought it was super cute. And she actually sings like the soundtrack to the video, and it's adorable.
Very nice.
So
Christos Michelle. All right, guys, so that's another day of fashion 411. Now, next week, you guys know next week, it's Halloween next week. So we're going to have a nice, fun show for you guys. We'll cover some Halloween stuff. Maybe, just maybe, some of us might get dressed up. I don't know. We'll see. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to download the show on iTunes. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, BHL Fashion 411. And we will all see you next week. Everybody, where can we find you?
You can find me, your host, Erica Garcia Rojas, on Instagram and Twitter at IamEGR, and check out RaleighBabe.com.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Starlets.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's Me, Deanna V. We'll see you guys for a spooky fashion Halloween show next week. That was good.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.